Hello and welcome to another Dark and Darker video. And I'm creating a new character. This visual glitch happens. Oh no. But yeah, this is definitely my first attempt at leveling a fighter from level 1 to 20 without a single death and without using any player trading or any in-game merchants. Now to switch it up a little bit, I've decided to queue a game of Ruins here as my first game. It's not only a new map that I want to see a bit more of, but also has a guaranteed blue weapon spawn in the southern middle room of the map. So for a character that's just starting out and has the starting weapon, which is absolute garbage, I am trying to find a weapon upgrade as quick as possible. We spawn in the western side of the map in the horrible room with like 5 million wisps. I don't know, the devs were smoking some good stuff when they made this enemy, because they are absolutely horrible to fight, and there are so many of them, so I'm getting the hell out of here as quick as possible. And I try to make my way towards the bottom middle room to see if the weapon is still there. Now here I see a naked little rogue fighting some mobs. Hello there, little buddy. How's it hanging? So, of course, in true psychopath fashion, I draw my weapon and proceed to attempt to murder them mercilessly. And it seems that this rogue has already taken some hits from the PvE, because in just 2 quick swings the rogue falls, and let's see if they've got something nice for me. I already see a little potion hanging off of the belt, which is very nice, not gonna complain about that. And the rogue starting knives, which are better than nothing, I suppose. Did take a bit of a beating here already. And of course, starting out, I have like my starting bandage and this rogue's potion, so these are not looking super hot. And, well, look at that, there's actually a blue battle axe lying right there. Nobody has actually spawned here or been here, or maybe they just don't know the spot, but definitely not complaining. And ouch, take a big hit from Skelly here. Hey, being taken quite low at this point, as I pop my second wind and try to clear them out. Oh my god, these skeletons are actually wrecking me here. But I mean, definitely, we will make it out of this situation, because I would never die to PvE. You saw nothing. Hello and welcome to my first attempt at leveling a fighter from level 1 to level 20 without a single death. I've decided to go for a game of... yeah, anyways. We spawn very far away from the blue weapon spawn in this game, unfortunately. Can't really go for that, but I do also like looting this room. It's, for Ruins standards, has a decent amount of chests and loot, and it's kind of hard to come by like rooms with actually good loot in the Ruins, to be honest. Since the developers originally intended it to be like the very first level, where you just get a little bit of starting gear, a few greens maybe, and then move on to a deeper level. Yeah, pick up some basics here and run into the fart cloud. As per usual, taking a bunch of damage from PvE, because that's basically my brand at this point. You wouldn't even know you're watching a Shaggy video unless I'm getting beaten up on and ganged up on by a bunch of mobs. And I make my way up towards the shrine. Protection Shrine is very nice. Probably my second favorite one. Best one, of course, being the Speed Shrine. And then we find a green arming sword, so that's probably better than about half of the blue weapons that I could have found on the south side of the map. So I'm definitely happy about that one. And I make my way closer towards the center of the map, seeing if I can find some action with the protection shrine still active. But I can't hear any other players around me, can't see anything either. So I shift my focus to just trying to find a bit more loot and killing a bit more. Killing a few more skeletons. No, I'm gonna have to have a stern word with my past self about not being careful in PvE. I mean, I've never died to PvE, of course, but even taking a hit here and there is not optimal, considering I have very limited heals, especially at the start of this run where I have like my one starting bandage and that's it. So I decide to sit down for a little bit and reach up as much as I can. Now as I'm resting, I do actually hear some other players nearby. My protection shrine, of course, has long since worn off, so it's a bit of a dangerous situation potentially, because in the ruins you can face up to a 3-man team instead of it just being solos. So if I'm not being careful, I could get ganged up on and find myself in a bad position against multiple players. And then I hear someone fighting PvE behind that door and decide to get up on the high ground in case they come like through the door. It's definitely an advantageous position to be in, even though I don't have any ranged options for the time being. I would still be able to hit their head a lot easier while they have a very hard time hitting mine. But yeah, the players seem to not be interested in coming through, so I decide to take matters in my own hands and approach. And I see a rogue running around, double jumping all over the place, chuck a throwing knife at them and connect, but the rogue with the double jump is so hard to catch, especially on ruins, it's almost impossible. And they make it through the door and run away as I see another player peeking around the corner there. And I would not love being sandwiched between them, so I decide to follow the rogue who has been running away, but by the time I get through the door, there seems to be no trace of them. Ran off somewhere, hiding, waiting in the shadows for an opportune moment to strike. So I suppose for me it's back to killing some PvE and trying to get some more loot. Potentially could even kill skeleton or two without taking a hit, which would be amazing. I noticed that I actually forgot to equip the weapon mastery perk, which I usually take first, mostly to be able to wield bows and throwing knives, but also some other class weapons, like for example a rapier could be useful. And here I find a white heater shield. Now heater shield is the one shield that I do actually kind of like and might be worth actually equipping, because it has a quite big model that makes it way easier to block things and actually has a decent chunk of armor on it as well. As I make my way through this door, I see an open portal, I see a naked rogue jumping around, I see another rogue right there. It's maybe the same two rogues from earlier, but this rogue makes his way straight for the exit portal and I am not able to catch up to them, while the other rogue has ran off somewhere else. They don't seem to be very keen on fighting. But I'm happy about finding the speed shrine. Most OP shrine in the game, and now I'm definitely out for blood. And I see a ranger taking some shot at me, catch up to them super quick with the speed shrine, and actually decides to run away from me as I have the speed shrine active. So pretty bad news for this ranger here. I'm afraid you're not getting away from someone with the speed shrine active.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Anyways, the ranger falls, and something really nice about that is that the ranger actually had a cloak equipped. Cloak being, of course, the rarest item slot in the game to find. So finding a cloak in my very first game is super nice, and it even has a 1 all attributes stat on it, which is basically the best stat in the game. Also has a blue recurve bow, which I would be very excited about equipping if I had actually remembered to change my perk. and a blue battle axe. Now, you guys remember I have a green arming sword at the moment, and honestly I just hate the battle axe. Like, there's quite a decent amount of two-handed weapons in this game that are just not really that good because they have a really low movement speed and swing speed, which makes it very easy for other players to juke you. We find this naked rogue once more and jumps down into the pit immediately, where I also see a portal. And there was another rogue, I believe it was again a rogue, also jumping down, so I quickly take the protection shrine before chasing them down. This rogue is just straight up opening the portal right there. The disrespect is crazy. Get a nice swing right into their head. And they try to run away and juke me, but kind of run themselves into a corner. No, you are not getting out of here. Nope. And mid-air, just taken out. That's the end of this rogue who has been shooting me for almost the entire game. There's also this other rogue who is now also trying to open this escape portal. I don't know what it is with this one. Jump away, and I just take their portal. Thank you very much. What a gentleman. Yes, Noodle Juice. Noodle Juice the rogue. An absolute gentleman and scholar. But yeah, we make it out of game 1 here with some pretty nice gear. Most excited about the cloak. The blue recurve bow is also very cute. Not very excited about the battle axe on the other hand. I'm just gonna sell that one off. And now that we've geared up a little bit, and I'm not that keen on finding a blue weapon anymore, considering I already have the green arming sword with +1 all attributes, I will make my way into the Goblin caves for game number 2. We spawn next to the stairs, which in the late game can be used instead of an escape portal to actually get out, but that one won't open for quite a while. So, for the time being, I will clear out some goblins, and I'll make my way towards the middle of the map, where I'm planning to jump down into the room with the skeleton champion, to see if I can clear out some elites and upgrade my gear as fast as possible. On the way there, however, I'm gonna kill some of these skellies, and go for the big chests as well. Might find some cute stuff there. And out of the corner of my eye there, I saw a naked wizard decide to finish fighting the skeleton first, so it won't be chasing me when I'm actually engaging in PvP. And I'm not sure if that player saw me yet, but try to see if I can get some shots off with my bow. Take out my sword as I turn the corner, and I see the wizard running down the ramp and casting invisibility on themselves. I see the wizard reappear very close to me, charging a fireball, as he hits me with a fireball, but also himself, and falls to the next swings. Here comes a barbarian charging through the door. Me not being full HP makes this a little bit dangerous, and I accidentally run into the trap as I'm backing off a bit, trying to get some shots in. Now, I'm low enough to pop my second wind here, and with my second wind active, I decide to engage the barbarian. Considering he has a very slow two-hander, he should not really be able to hit me too much, while with my fast weapon I can probably out-juke him. And yep, here we see he gets one swing in before falling to my arming sword. He has an amulet with some agility and armor on it for me, which is quite nice, and blue lightfoot boots, which increase my movement speed by quite a high amount, so I'm quite happy about that. And on this goblin I just find insane lightfoot boots. They're not only blue lightfoot boots that increase your movement speed by I believe 9 or 10, but they also have like +1 all attributes on them, which of course is an amazing stat. And these are some of the best boots you can actually get, like very high movement speed, +1 all stats. I don't believe I will ever be replacing these boots in this run. It's basically best in slot item, almost. Now let's see, I am still intending to kill a skeleton champion in this game if possible, but I get back to the chest I wasn't able to loot earlier because of all the PvP action. And find a white bardiche, a white halberd. Definitely, again, considering the white halberd, but I'm sticking with the arming sword. as the movement speed and maneuverability is just so important to me, and I value it very highly. And here I just decide to sit down and regen my HP, because having only one bandage and one healing potion, I'm definitely gonna have to be very careful with how I use my heals for the time being. Do have 6 throwing axes and some shield potions though, which I can definitely use very well to create an advantage for myself in PvP fights. And my rest actually gets interrupted by someone jamming on their guitar. It hasn't seen me sitting in the dark, and oh no, the poor dude. This poor little bard gets taken out by a swing to the back of his head. Probably not even knowing what the hell even happened to him there. But yeah, this is just how it goes sometimes. And this bard does not seem to have literally anything. I don't know how you play for like 5 minutes and not have a single thing in your inventory, but oh well. I mean, maybe the bard was friendly, but again, I can't really take the risk of like getting an escape portal stolen from me later or getting backstabbed or anything like that, so I'm definitely not looking for alliances in this challenge. Now I definitely heard something there, and as I open the door and look to my right, there is a wizard who instantly starts running away, as per usual. I mean, I can't really blame him for not wanting to be in melee range with an aggressive fighter. And yeah, I decide to chase him down, cut off his exits, cut off his path. Wizard gets off a haste cast here, so I might be able to escape, but runs into the corner there, and it's not a great time for the wizard trying to escape here, as my sprint gets back up and I'm able to catch up, and the wizard falls without even fighting back at all. And I mean, I do get the struggle, like playing a naked wizard without any gear is such a painful experience. I have a lot of sympathy for anyone trying to play a wizard with, like, once you get a grey spellbook, you actually start feeling like a real class, but the starter with a wizard with the starting staff feels so horrible to play. It is actually incredible. A wizard feels when you don't have any gear and have to use the starting staff. And yeah, I know that there's also a skeleton champion usually down there, and yeah, I engage the skeleton champion, and let's see if we can get any more gear upgrades before the end of the game. Of course, having an exit portal right next to me already, which, I mean, maybe I should have considered opening right away, but that also opens me up to another player stealing it, so for now I'll just keep it closed while I fight the champion. Taking a few hits here again, which is not optimal. The second portal spawns right next to the first one. So I have a bunch of exit options here. And as I kill this champion, I hear players' footsteps, so it's a bit spooky with me being so low HP, so I should be somewhat fast. But whoa, there's a purple Wormhole on this skeleton champion. Wormhole, I love swinging it. It feels really cool to swing it, but it's so slow and it's so hard to hit people with. But it's purple, like, this is gonna be a tough choice. Like, should I stick with my green arming sword or switch to a purple Wormhole? Oh yeah, the legs also have +1 all attributes here. I have 3 items with +1 all attributes already after the second game. Well, 4 even if you count my sword. And here you see the Wormhole, physical damage bonus +2 weapon damage. Now, because it's not a fighter weapon, I will take a 10% damage penalty while using it. But look at that, it has 76 weapon damage. Meaning even I would get almost 70 weapon damage on this weapon, which would get increased even further by strength, physical power and other modifiers. So it would hurt like hell, but it is also so slow to swing, and minus 55 movement speed penalty is really rough. What would you do, guys? Would you continue with the arming sword? Would you go with the purple Wormhole? Let me know, we will find out what I do in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel and leaving a comment down below. I put quite a bit more effort into the editing in this video. Let me know if you find this more entertaining or if you just prefer straight up gameplay. yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.